Outside of the classroom, students have very few opportunities to use English. For some, learning English might not have any obvious practical benefit. Kelas ini tidak menggunakan bahasa Inggris. Siswa berbagi hal yang sama bahasa dan budaya. Di luar siswa, kelas memiliki sangat sedikit kesempatan untuk menggunakan bahasa Inggris. Bagi sebagian orang, belajar bahasa Inggris mungkin tidak memiliki manfaat praktis yang jelas. Contoh negara yang menggunakan English second language adalah Malaysia. Malaysia menggunakan bahasa Inggris sehari-hari. Selain bahasa ibu mereka, ada juga Singapura dan India. Sedangkan negara English foreign language adalah Indonesia. Next, the characteristic of English language learners. Some facts about adults and young learners. English foreign language classroom, young learners, adolescents, and adults. Activities in a young learner classroom should short and many activities. Adolescents can use many different ways of studying and practicing the language. It is possible for adults to spend more time on learning tasks, so it is possible to engage more deeply with learning materials. Ada 3 jenis pembelajar di kelas bahasa asing Inggris: pelajar dewasa, pelajar muda, dan pelajar remaja. Jadi kegiatan di kelas pembelajar muda harus disingkat dan banyak kegiatan. Remaja dapat menggunakan berbagai cara untuk mempelajari dan mempraktekkan bahasa tersebut. Dan mungkin bagi orang dewasa menghabiskan lebih banyak waktu pada tugas-tugas belajar, sehingga kemungkinan untuk terlibat lebih dalam dengan materi pembelajaran. The fact that every learner is unique and such list can only reflect generalization. Young learners, they respond although they do not understand. They learn from everything around them. They learn indirectly rather than directly. They understand mostly when they see, hear, touch, and interact rather than from explanation. Abstract concepts are difficult to deal with. They generally display a curiosity about the world and an enthusiasm for learning a language. Mereka suka berbicara diri mereka sendiri dan menanggapi pembelajaran itu menggunakan kehidupan mereka sebagai topik utama. Mereka juga menemukan sesuatu, membuat atau menggambar sesuatu menggunakan imajinasi mereka. Berpindah dari satu tempat ke tempat lain, memecahkan teka-teki. Mereka memiliki rentang perhatian yang pendek. Adolescent, despite their success in language learning, they are seen as problematic students. They commit passionately when they are engaged. Most of them start to understand the need for learning. Attention span is longer as a result of intellectual development. They can talk about abstract issues to a certain point. They can use many different ways of studying and practicing the language. Adult, they can engage with abstract talk. They have a wide range of positive or negative life and learning experience. They have expectation about the learning process, and they have their own patterns of learning. They are more disciplined than the other age groups and know how to struggle on despite boredom. Beberapa peneliti dan cendekiawan di banyak negara memiliki definisi yang berbeda untuk istilah pembelajar muda. Mereka membedakan pelajar muda yang berfokus terutama pada anak-anak dari usia prasekolah dan sekolah dasar. Pinter 2011 membagi pelajar muda menjadi 3 kelompok. Yang pertama, very young learners, age 3 to 6 year old, grade preschool education, language focus or skill use, listening and speaking, vocabulary items, concentrate and familiar objects. No grammar teachings on meta language can analyze language but may be exposed to chunks strong classroom language. No reading and writing may recognize letters or short words. Characteristic: low concentration span but easily excited. High motivation, active involvement, love talking but problems in sharing, short memory, learn slowly, forget easily. Repetition and revision is necessary. Limited motor skill using a pen and scissors, but kinesthetic and energetic. Learn holistically, love stories, fantasy, imagination, art, drawing, and coloring. Second, young learners age 7 to 9 years old, grade first to third grade, language focus or skill use, listening and speaking, vocabulary items, concentrate and familiar and new objects. New in reading and writing, word to sentence level. No grammar teachings or meta language, chunks, stroke, song and classroom language. Characteristic: low concentration span, wide variety of activities needed. Short memory, frequent revision is needed. Logically analytical, asking questions. Problem in sharing in group work, developing confidence in expressing themselves. Developing word knowledge, limited motor skill, left and right, reasonable amount of input, love stories, fantasies, imagination, drawing and coloring. And third, older or late young learners, age 10 to 12 years old, grade 4th and 6th grade, language focus or skill use, listening, speaking, reading, writing, vocabulary items, concentrate and abstract grammar, inductive. Characteristic: larger attention span but still children. Taking learning seriously, word knowledge, more cooperation in groups and in peers, develop social, motor, and intellectual skill. Learning strategies are used and developing the theory of young learners. Learning development, sebagian besar kegiatan dari anak-anak harus terdiri dari gerakan dan melibatkan indera mereka itu. Guru membutuhkan banyak objek, visual, dan gambar yang untuk dikerjakan dan untuk membuat kemungkinan untuk menggunakan semua sekolah lingkungan. Penting juga bagi guru untuk membiarkan anak-anak bermain dengan bahasa, berbicara dengan diri mereka sendiri sebanyak mungkin. Gunakan lagu, sajak, dan cerita. The field of teaching young learners, particularly in English teaching, has expanded enormously in the last recent years. We need, therefore, to draw on work from beyond language classroom, in child development, in learning theory, in first language development, and in development of a second language in bilingual context. The major theories in development, psychology, Piaget, Vygotsky, and Brunner, highlighting key ideas from their work that can inform how we think of the child as a language learner. Dalam penelitiannya tentang kognitif perkembangan anak tahun 1966, Jeremy Brunner mengusulkan 3 model representasi: sebuah representasi aktif, aksis berbasis representasi ikonik, dan representasi simbolik.